Income-focused investing and the way you've been taught it is actually keeping you broke. Because after ditching traditional dividend strategies for the method I'm about to show you, my own returns increased 8-fold. And I've helped 400 other people implement this as well. So in this video, I'm going to show you why the traditional dividend investing approach is quietly destroying your long-term wealth. The secret income method used by legends like Warren Buffett that'll get you an extra $1,500 or more a month fast, and how to use this in your own portfolio even if you're a complete beginner. To start, let's face the painful truth. Traditional dividend investing is quietly bleeding your portfolio dry. Let's think about it. What's the average yield most dividend investors desperately chase today? A measly 2 to 3% if you're lucky. And that's before taxes slice away even more of your already tiny returns. And here's the brutal reality of this. While you're settling for these tiny dividend checks, you're missing out on explosive growth opportunities that could completely transform your financial future. Take a look at this chart comparing popular dividend ETFs to the broader market over the past decade. The results are honestly heartbreaking, because many of these beloved dividend ETFs, like the S&P Dividend ETF, for example, have been absolutely crushed by the S&P 500, underperforming by 20 or 30% over the last decade. And that's not just numbers on a chart, that has practical implications, because that 20 or 30% is the difference between retiring comfortably or being stuck working well into your later years. And here's what's even scarier. Dividend yields have actually been in free fall for decades now. Just look at this historical chart. In 1990, the average S&P 500 stock paid a solid yield of 3.74%. By 2005, it'd gone down to 1.79%, and today it's a mere 1.33%. So dividend yields themselves have collapsed by nearly 2/3. And to put this into perspective, even with a $100,000 portfolio invested in the S&P 500, you're barely generating $100 a month in dividend income. And think about that, $100,000 invested for just $100 a month return. And so the income strategy that your parents and grandparents relied on is literally vanishing before your eyes. And so if you're still clinging to this outdated approach, your comfortable retirement dreams are fading fast. This is exactly why Warren Buffett himself rarely invests in high dividend stocks for Berkshire Hathaway. In fact, the stock he holds most of, Apple, has a yield of less than 1% when he began building his massive position. And think about that. If the greatest investor of all time isn't chasing dividends, that says a lot. But here's where it gets fascinating. While Buffett isn't chasing dividends, he does use another income generating method that most investors have absolutely no clue about. And that's exactly what I'm about to show you next. Now let me reveal the powerful income strategy Warren Buffett secretly uses to generate billions of dollars in cash for Berkshire Hathaway. And it has absolutely nothing to do with dividends. Because if you think that Buffett sticks only to simple buy and hold strategies, you need to think again. Because despite his folksy image and demeanor and his sort of straightforward investing advice, Buffett has quietly used this sophisticated cash flow strategy for decades now, and most investors don't know anything about it. To find out more, we go to Berkshire Hathaway's 2008 shareholder letter, which I highly recommend reading, by the way. Because in that letter, Buffett revealed something astonishing. While most investors were panicking during the financial crisis, Buffett quietly implemented an income strategy that generated $4.9 billion in upfront cash. And that's not a typo, $4.9 billion instantly available for him to reinvest elsewhere. And so what exactly is this hidden strategy that Buffett has very rarely discussed publicly? Well, it's called selling options. In this case, selling put options on major stock indexes. Now, I know Buffett has famously criticized options and derivatives, calling them financial weapons of mass destruction. But I think it's interesting that Buffett himself has used options extensively when it can benefit the Berkshire Hathaway shareholders. The way Buffett uses options has a lot to do with his favorite industry, because you can think of selling options a lot like selling insurance. When you sell a put option, someone pays you a premium up front, and that money is yours to keep no matter what happens next.
Let's break this down clearly with a real life example. Today is May 12th and Nvidia is currently trading at about $127 per share. Now suppose you're interested in Nvidia but you prefer to buy it cheaper than its current price. Now, instead of buying the shares outright, you could sell a put option at $120 a share, and that expires in 31 days time. By selling this put option, you'd immediately receive $390 in cash directly deposited into your account. From here, one of two simple scenarios will unfold. If Nvidia stays above $120 a share, you can keep the entire $390 premium and you can repeat the strategy again. If Nvidia drops below $120, you can buy shares at a discounted effective price of just $116.10 per share, which is $120 minus the $3.90 premium you received for selling that put option.
And this approach is far more powerful than chasing a tiny 2 to 3% dividend yield, because you're generating immediate income up front and potentially acquiring great stocks at discounted prices. And I'm not just theorizing here. I've been investing for 16 years now, and I've specifically used this option strategy for the past 6 years, earning over $300,000 in the meantime. I've even written a best-selling book about this exact strategy, which now has over 600 reviews on Amazon, and I've taught over 400 students how to use these same techniques, helping them generate anywhere from $500 to upwards of $50,000 a month in extra income. Now, let me show you exactly how to do this today in your own portfolio, because now I'm going to show you how easily you can implement this powerful income strategy even if you're brand new to investing. The key to making this work is simple. Focus only on quality stocks you genuinely love to own long term. This is absolutely critical, because this strategy thrives when you use it on strong, well-established companies. If you're chasing speculative stocks, you risk buying companies that might keep on declining for years to come. And so here's a straightforward 3-step framework you can follow immediately. So step 1 is you just pick 3 to 5 quality stocks that you'd be excited to own at a slightly lower price than they're trading at today. These should be stable, well-known companies with strong fundamentals. You know, your Microsofts, Apples, Costco, those are the kind of companies you want to use. Step 2 is determine your ideal happy price, the price you'd feel thrilled to pay for these stocks. Now, usually this is about 5 to 10% below the current market price of the stock. And then step 3 is you sell put options at or near your chosen strike price with about 30 to 45 days until expiration. And I'm going to show you exactly how to generate $1,500 a month in income that I promised when you clicked on this video.
First, let's revisit Nvidia currently trading at $129 a share. By selling one put option at the 121 strike, you'd instantly collect $390 in premium, and that expires in 31 days. Next, let's look at Lemonade, currently trading about $32 per share. For this one, we're going to do a few more contracts to get some more premium because it's a lower priced stock. By selling 5 contracts at the $31 strike price, expiring in 31 days, we'll use the mid price for that, you would immediately collect a premium of $810 total. That's $162 per contract. And this requires around $14,500 to secure that position. Finally, we'll add in Google. And for this one, we'll add in an expiration date that's slightly further out. So we'll go 38 days from now. And we're going to use the 155 strike. So once again, we'll use the mid price for that. And that's going to give us $284 in premiums paid right away. So add this up, $390 from Nvidia, $810 from Lemonade, and $290 from Google, and then you've generated $1,490 in upfront cash income in just 1 month. Even better, this requires less than $42,000 in capital total. That's a monthly return of around 3.5% on your capital, which annualizes to a massive 42%.
Far beyond what any dividend stock could realistically deliver. Now, let's quickly address the risks, because nothing is risk-free. The main risk is obviously that the stock price could drop significantly below your strike price. But remember, these are stocks you've already decided that you'd love to own at these discounted prices. And you've reduced your cost even further by selling put options and collecting that premium up front. The beauty of this strategy is its flexibility. You don't need a huge account to start. Even with a smaller portfolio of, say, $10,000, you can easily sell put options on lower priced stocks. In fact, one of my students began with just $5,000 and now consistently earns over $1,500 per month using this exact method. Now, it didn't happen overnight. It took about 8 months of consistent practice and execution, but the results speak for themselves. So if you're excited to learn more and you want a step-by-step guide to implementing this strategy, I've written a comprehensive resource linked in the description below. But here's the best part. What I've shown you today is just one piece of my full income system. There are actually 2 more powerful techniques that can dramatically boost your results. So to discover these additional techniques and see the complete strategy in action, watch this next video right here, where I'm going to break down everything step by step.